If this kid's girlfriend turns out to be trans, that only strengthens the argument that he is a Groyper, because there is a subculture in there that loves femboys, and this is part of how they deal with their homophobia, their transphobia, and all the things they feel super ashamed of by being in the MAGA cult or a religious cult like the Mormon cult. So I'm going to show you this video to explain further what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to talk a little more.
Shooter turns out to have a feminine boyfriend that strengthens the Groyper speculations. They are obsessed with femboys. Oh man, the chronically online wokeness is paying off. There exists a subsection of incels who are so celibate and hateful and fearful of women that they groom other incels into feminizing themselves for the sake of the cause. They call themselves operators and cosplay as characters like Ghost from Call of Duty and other very, very militarized characters in gear, just to take that gear off and then being all ooh or oh whoa, hey, look at that. To be more specific, because I know a lot of you are actually looking for information, they wear military cosplays, but underneath those cosplays are like lingerie and knee-high socks. There's even a subsection of femcel who does the same thing, and the Groypers hate them. People are just now finding out that there exists a whole subsection of alt-right that genuinely views MAGA, the Make America Great Again movement, as liberal. And you're not even in the pipeline yet. You're looking at it from a way far away.
So, may or may not be his roommate. If that is the roommate or a girlfriend, that only points more to this conversation. I've had people reach out to me whose kids are trans, queer, and they study this community. They go looking in there, and this is very, very prominent. Their fear, their loathing of women and feeling that rejection and that isolation and the depression they have is so severe that this is how they cope in having relationships. You know, I can't be homophobic, I can't be gay, so they need to be with someone that's feminine, but can't be a girl because I hate women. And I have a video saved to my phone from Nick Fuentes, who I follow and have followed for a long time. Why? Because I'm a profiler. I study these guys and I put them in prison. It's my job. So don't come with, why do you watch them? Because that's my job, and that's what people do when you want to know what's going on out in the world, not just your bubble, okay? He has a video that is so vile, the way he talks about women, it makes me afraid. And I remember the night that Kamala lost, the darkness that came over me that I don't think I was truly aware of, that I realized the incels of the world that have felt angry, rejected, isolated, all these things finally gained enough power through religion and through getting Trump in there to kind of swarm up and just grab us up like a Venus flytrap. And that's basically what we're dealing with. And, you know, when you just want to ignore it, and, you know, it's not my job to teach these white guys and these white kids, and like, we're a society. If you want to function, you got to teach everyone. You have to talk to everyone, like the best you can. I understand there's some exceptions to that, but overall, you have to keep that connection. Like, you have to. And the thing is, like with Nick, is he had a big thing about how he was going to be so celibate, like that he wouldn't even help himself. You know what I'm saying? And he just like advertises that as his strength. But the way he loathes women is truly unnerving and dark and is frightening. So if there is this trans person in his life, it only points to more of this. And here's the thing is, I know people want to jump on and go, well, it doesn't mean that, like, when you go to defend, like, oh, he doesn't mean he had a trans roommate, or it doesn't mean, like, you're making it sound like trans is a problem. Like, trans is part of every culture somewhere, and it always has been. That's the education that needs to come out of this. And we need to point to the fact that these kids are hurting. The shame culture between capitalism, patriarchy, and white supremacy. These kids are put into such a tight grip emotionally that this is what you get. Hello, Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, and then you involve it with the gaming culture, and they make this place a game, and we are all going to pay the price for that. But when you do it with people on the right, don't go like, no, it was right. Like, this is a kid that's hurting, and yes, now we know that there are these subcultures, and a lot of them play out on the right. But the bottom line is, these kids feel isolated, and they need help. And when we shame people, this is what we get. That's the conversation we need to have. If you keep screaming it's right and left, no one can hear. But speaking to, like, these kids need help, that's where we need to go.